Oh! Well, how exciting. You know, they don't get a lot of shine, but I think it's really nice that we're gonna put some spotlight on George Thorogood's backing musicians today. After all, from what I understand, according to both popular and academic rigor, they are bad to the bone, and I think it is time that that was acknowledged. The Destroyers was the unproduced pilot episode of a spin-off series for American television. The exact title of the proposed spin-off series is not known. It was written by Terry Nation and was supposed to feature the Daleks and the Space Security Service. A synopsis of the episode was published in the official Doctor Who and the Daleks book in 1988. A notable aspect of the script is that one of the characters is Sarah Kingdom, whom Nation had featured in the Daleks Master Plan, along with other characters and concepts used in the aborted spin-off. Dare or dare, Ryan? I'm not going to play fucking games with you, Craig. That's my answer. Carson and Wayne were members of a space exploration team guarding their base dome surrounded by a force field. Despite this, Daleks penetrate the field and kill Carson. His death alerts Wayne, Morgan, and Sarah Kingdom. Sarah sounds the alarm as the Daleks attack. There are apparently no survivors. Brought her back just to kill her again? Haha, penetrate? I'm glad I have such a highbrow audience here. The Special Space Security sends 3 agents to investigate Captain Jason Corey, Sarah's brother David Kingdom, and android Mark 7. They discover Whitman's still alive. He cannot identify their attackers but tells them that they took a few prisoners. Before he does, Sarah is in fact alive but wounded, dodging the Daleks in the jungle. The Daleks have Philip Lee as a prisoner for interrogation. Their instrumentation detects movement at the Doom, and they send a patrol to annihilate whatever is alive there until it's not. The agents have discovered the Dalek tracks and are following them when the Daleks approach the dome. Jason, Mark, and David hide in the bushes, where they are attacked by man-eating plants. Ryan, do something silly. There you go. Mark makes a noise and the Ryans blast away at the bushes before proceeding to the dome. Jason and David free themselves with their knives and go to Mark's aid. Being a robot, he is mostly undamaged from the attack and needs only minor repairs before he is functional again. Not silly enough? Craig said I'm bored. Vilmunda said, hi bored, I'm dad. They activate their defense mechanisms. Shadowy specters that attack... There's ghosts in this now? Shadowy specters that attack her, enveloping her in webbing. Oh, God! The Daleks take her captive. Jason, David, and Mark find the cave just ahead of the Dalek patrol, returning from the Doom. Their way forward is blocked by a chasm, but knowing there must be some way for the Daleks to cross it, they hide and see 2 Daleks activate a bridge. This is thrilling stuff, man. As one crosses, they jump the other, and Mark tosses it into the chasm. The first Dalek tries to return, but David deactivates the bridge, sending the creature plunging into the abyss. In Dalek Central Control, Lee is eliminated now that they have a better prisoner in Sarah. The Black Dalek orders the ship prepared for departure. The agents arrive at the perimeter in time to see this, but not in time to stop it. The Dalek ship launches, taking Sarah with it. I'm not gonna lie, like, when was this meant to be pitched for? How do I put this? This is a pile of wank. This is really bad. Like, you take away... It's like Doctor Who, but you take away the Doctor. And the problem with doing that is then it's just a lot of bullshitting around and running around and getting captured and then escaping again. It's boring! It's boring! There's no stakes. It's just people running away from Daleks. And then there's randomly ghosts at one point, and that's the most interesting thing that happens. It's boring! Not the page. The page is fine. I mean this Dalek spin-off. I'm sorry, are you Terry Nation? Are you actually Terry Nation, Bruce Simmons? It's a Terry Nation script then. It's boring! On the 1st of November 1966, midway through recording The Power of the Daleks, Terry Nation approached the BBC about spinning off the Daleks into their own television series. It would spotlight the Space Security Service and Sarah Kingdom, both of whom had been created by Nation for the Daleks' master plan. Impressed by John Marsh's performance in that serial, Nation provided a 2-act pilot script entitled The Destroyers and suggested that the Dalek program should be made on film and in colour, which would require it to air on BBC Two. By 13th of November, Nation's Linstead Film Production seemed to have been given the go-ahead for a pilot episode of a half-hour Dalek series to begin production on Monday 12th of November. On 22nd or 25th of November, however, the BBC pulled out of the project due to BBC Two controller David Attenborough's rejection of the series due to lack of available space on the BBC Two schedule, and a reluctance to David Attenborough's rejection of the series due to lack of available space on the BBC Two schedule and a reluctance to poaching the characters from BBC One. In 1967, Nation attempted to sell the series to America's ABC network, but without success. As Nation had requested that the BBC relinquish its rights to the Daleks to clear the sale of a Dalek series to the US, and possibly ITV, the BBC opted to take the Daleks out of Doctor Who permanently, and so a final showdown was scheduled in The Evil of the Daleks, written by David Whittaker. Okay, so what we're gonna do is you can take your Daleks to the US, or God forbid to ITV, but we are gonna kill them off in one final Doctor Who story so that we can make merchandising money. I mean, give them a proper send-off. But we're gonna get someone else to write it. Okay? Okay, I'm assuming you're fine with this. Now fuck off, please. That's how I imagine the meeting went. Who's that supposed to be? David Attenborough. Who do you think it's supposed to be? You don't think this sounds like David Attenborough? He's the bloke from the nature documentaries. That bloke. You know, David Attenborough. He talks about the birds. Frankly, he should have given a small warning about these pigeons, if you ask me. And the bees. And the bees. Yes, that is true. He talks about the birds and the bees. That is a true fact, yes. In 2004, Loose Cannon Productions made a 5-minute reconstruction of the pilot, along with a brief featurette on the background to it. It cast Edward D'Souza as Captain Jason Corey, Nicholas Courtney as David Kingdom, and William Gaunt as Mark 7. Apparently there was an audio production as well. Big Finish produced a full-cast audio drama of this story for the Second Doctor box set, a part of the Lost Stories series released in December 2010. Terry Nation's original story about soldiers in the far future battling the menace of the Daleks was adapted by Nicholas Briggs and John Dorney, and largely switched the roles of Sarah and David. It starred Jean Marsh as Sarah Kingdom, Alex Cox as Mark 7, Chris Porter as Jason Corey, Alex Mallingson as David Kingdom, and Nicholas Briggs as the voice of the Daleks. Let's take another look. Oh!